And of course, again, while it is still the same tile, look at that grass for a second. This is important. Let's really zoom in the camera for a second. Look at that grass, okay? Really stare at it for a few seconds. Put it into your mind. I'm going to give you a few more seconds to just stare at that grass tile, okay? Keep staring, keep staring, keep staring, keep staring. Now, look at that grass tile. And tell me the difference. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest game ever made. Ever. This game sucks. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. We've actually shown this game off before when trying to show off terrible games before. This is the Legendary Edition where we're going to be going after the source of evil for the entire world, Tom Cruise. Now, I mention all that because this is like there's something. If I could just be honest for a second, there's something relaxing about having what is, for all intents and purposes, a punching bag of a game. This isn't Fallout 1, where the game sucks, but a lot of people love it. This isn't Psychonauts 1, where it's a beloved classic, but it sucks. This is Secret of the Stars. No one gives a damn. So I don't have to be like, oh, well, you know, I could see what... No. This game just is crap. It's just crap. And we could just treat it as crap. And there's just... You know, it's just relaxing, you know? It's just, oh, man. If you remember, we've actually discussed this before. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 and Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 weren't really JRPGs. Mostly they were just aping the existing RPGs that had predated them, like Wizardry, and just kind of trying to do whatever with them. So in this case, now the JRPG has been fully codified. We know what it is. We know how it operates. Cool. Let's make our own. This is going to be awesome. It's going to make so much money. And so when this game finally came out in Japan, it came out in the wake of Final Fantasy V. Now that may or may not mean anything to you, but FF5 was another rather well-received, very well-selling game. Hang on, it gets worse. Because this game took a while to come out in the States. And when it finally came out in the States, it came out a full year after Final Fantasy VI. Which also means it came out after Chrono Trigger. What? Oh, it's you. I know you're here daily. As you know. First line of dialogue, as you know. Do you like my books that much? If you want, feel free to read any of the books from the bookcase. God, the graphics are terrible. I see you picked that book. I guess you like adventures. That's the most exciting adventure story I ever had and wrote about. I found the best friends in my life through that adventure. I've literally seen NES games that look better than this. Yes, they really were our stars of hope. I love it. I love it. The first line of dialogue in the entire game is an as you know. One of the things, anybody who knows me knows, one of the things I am really, really big on is brickwork. I am a huge proponent of brickwork and proper brickwork design. Whether it's sprites or 3D graphics or like a matte painting on the backdrop of the game, doesn't matter. Brickwork design, the visuals, the background visuals that contribute to the vibe, feel, and tone of the game you're playing are important. I want you to look at those bricks for a second. I want you to really look at them for just a second. Because you'll notice that there's this overwhelming predominance of orange and brown. And it actually starts to make the whole picture blur a little bit. Then you've got the fact that each of, like, they're trying for some level of complexity, but what they did was they created a pattern of circles in the tiles of the bricks. And then they did the same thing with the wallpaper. It's just a different size and different template. And so what we have is this infinite cascade of circles, orange-brown circles, on this light gray thing, and it just makes this. I swear this game came out in 2006. This whole thing is blurring together. One of the other things I tend to think about is visual distinction. And I can tell where everything is here, but honestly, a lot of this screen is just making me go, ooh. Looks like it's going to be a nice day today. Are you still searching for the crest of stars? That crest was your father's. It is very precious to you. Thank you for telling that to me. It's good to know that I very much value this item that belongs to my dad that I have been searching for a long enough time that you're asking if I'm still looking for it. I hope you find it. The earthquakes have caused many wild animals to inhabit this island. Wait, what? So... Hold up. So... There's... And all the animals are like, sweet! There's a party going down there! And you know what it is? The animals, the herds... I mean, you've seen Lion King, right? Stampede. The stampeding animals come in, which makes more of an earthquake, which makes more animals come in, which makes more of an earthquake. That's like, yeah! There's just this giant kegger going on with the animals. Oh, it is, Yura. This is our life now. Oh my god, it looks so terrible. I could make better sprites than that, and I'm not that... Well, okay, I'm decent at it, but still. Look at how god-awful this looks. I don't even know where to start with this nonsense. Do I start with the one type of tree that is everywhere? Do I start with the fact that there's like, they've just took the pattern for the grass and turned it on its side for the tiles for the road here? Do I point out that this person down here, like, looks like there's something wrong with his face because of the lack of shading or detail on him? Do I point out how bizarre the water looks? Oh my god. It's okay, we've got a well. With context clues, I can understand most of this screen, but you want to hear my first favorite fact about this? Later, 12. Hang on, there's actually a better thing there, though. Other than my con being okay. No, my favorite thing about this is actually my speed stat. You notice we have 4 stats. Power, luck, defense, and speed. Luck is the usual thing, right? Kind of. We'll get to that in a minute. Power is obvious. Defense is obvious. But then you have speed. Now, anybody who's ever played an RPG ever, please tell me, what do you think the speed stat does? So lots of good, interesting, valid answers in chat. You're all wrong, of course, because here's what speed does. It changes the order in which people go in combat. Hang on. For the first round only, and then every other round after that, it's completely random. Like I said, no one was going to get that right. I hear Jeep Volcano is still active. Meow. I am just your everyday normal cat. Not! Oh my god, it's... I don't know what it is. I'm Cat Boo! You! I don't like the way you look. I'll beat you. Like the eye patch. Ooh, rat tails. What's a rat tail? After using it, you can escape from the cave and so on. I love these descriptions. You can escape from the cave and so on. A short time ago, I heard an evil voice coming from the volcano. It sounded like someone was laughing. See you around, Elizar. Get some good rest. What have you heard of Tom Cruise? I've heard he is the evil monster who is trying to rule our world. Runner? No. Oh, sorry. Only when you become the aquatallion will you be able to defeat Tom Cruise. The crest of stars is located somewhere in the mountain. Hurry! Runner! Hurry! Okay. Will somebody tell me a fairy tale? Yeah, once upon a time I played a game called Final Fantasy IV that was better than this in every way. So the Tom Cruise thing is a joke because it's actually called Hom Cruise. But it's really similar, and I've never stopped seeing it as Tom Cruise. So we're just going to keep calling him Tom Cruise forever. However, if you want the boring, real explanation, it was actually a mistranslation of homunculus, which is his actual name. I mean, honestly, Tom Cruise is already a homunculus. That just makes sense. See if we can rest at home, shall we? It's right here. Why do we live? Who are these three people who live outside? Do we have squatters in our yard? Is that what's going on here? Is that what this is? Oh my god, we have servants. Hey, we can heal. Oh my god, Django, kill me. Hey, you ready for the funny part, Django? This game came out in 1995. I'm just saying, 2 years off of Fallout right here. Please, I need random encounters. Game. Game. I like... There we go. See, I like the low encounter rate, but I do need some encounters here. Yeah, gotta level agility. Tell you what, Mr. Red. Once I take over the world, I'm gonna strap you to a chain you to a desk, and force you to do highlight reels forever, okay? Well, right now I'm trying to hit level 3, Django. Get in the basement with a box of scraps. There's going to be a box of scraps right next to you. Okay, fine. I'll also give Mr. Red a cat, so that way he can smell like cat pee and dirt litter box as well, because apparently Savacom is even more evil than I am. How's our gold doing? By the way, at some point I absolutely plan to do the glitch for infinite gold. You're probably thinking, which glitch? Yes, that is the correct answer. Because there's actually not just one glitch, or two, but there's close to like 30 glitches to underflow your gold in this game. I'm not joking. There's so many. There are so many glitches to underflow your gold. It's funny. The Star Crest. The thing we've been searching for years. That's very important to us. It will never be mentioned again. We become Pennon. Finally, you are Pennon. I don't know what that means either. So, this is the other party. This is actually the major gimmick of the game. We have two parties going simultaneously. This sounds like a cool idea. It's not. The way this works out is, so you notice he's level 1. I mean, you can already tell. By the fact that he's level 1, you can already tell the problem here. We have effectively just doubled the amount of grind we have to do. Oh yeah. Anybody want to guess the plot of this game right now? Go ahead, give me a guess. What do you think of the plot of the game is? All the way to the end. No, we already found the amulet, Von Falkenstein. Like I said, it'll never be mentioned again. Yeah, no. Here's the answer. Tom Cruise is evil. Go stop him. Now, I want to be very clear about this. Because you could jokingly break down a lot of stories into, like, one sentence. But I'm not doing that jokingly. I'm doing that literally. We already know the plot of this game. It's already been told to us. Tom Cruise is the source of evil and is trying to destroy the world. We need to stop him. That's it. So I'm curious of something. Yeah, that's what I thought. As you'll notice, we are still at 3 HP and dying of poison. 1. Up. Alright, here we go. Hail Mary time. Run! Okay. Okay. Two. Oh, wow. This is funny. Got it! Okay, now let's swap. What HP? Poisoned in the middle of a volcano. I'll get back to you. You die in the wastes, unloved and unmourned. You know, I actually don't know, Mr. Red. That's a good question, Ross. I'm not sure. Not even the sprite JRPG Carrion care about your decomposing. I can't do Ron Perlman. He's too good. He's too good. It's a bone! One bone! I love this song. This song is fantastic. Wait, wait, wait. No. Not yet. Yes, this counts as cutscene incompetence. If I'm going to ding Final Fantasy IV for it, I'm dinging this game for it. I flipped the explosion switch! Explosion. Can't be avoided. Viva Tom Cruise! Cutscene competence is actually a thing. It's rare, but it is a thing. It's nice to see it, too. And we're dead. The end. He still has 1 HP and is poisoned. Hang on, I gotta know. Okay, it looks like you cannot die from poison. That would have been funny. Oh my god! The full heal didn't get rid of the poison. Oh my god. No, I have not, Giga. Sorry, I don't know. Why do you exist? Okay, okay, whatever. Ugh. Yep, that's just our life. Oh, yeah. Sob. Bad. Burned the town down. My friends got kidnapped by Bad. Help us. Okay. Thank you. I'll be waiting for you at Old Hill. That's true. I could just green screen this whole game right now and put a better game under it. Then I could put, like, Final Fantasy 1 under it, and then green screen that overworld, and then put Dragon Quest under it and green screen that overworld. And just, like, make this fractal of RPGs. Actually sounds like a cool idea now that I'm saying that out loud. That would really destroy the editor, but I can do that. Who the heck are you? You're one of them as well. Get him. With a question mark. Get him. Oh no, it's 3 bad men. Oh hey, I just found a joke from Mr. Red. I was planning on joining the Procrastinators Club today, but maybe next week. This one's from Disgaea. That is my favorite, or excuse me, my greatest creation. The body of Hercules, the fist of a dark karate master, the brains of mahogany, a famous witch, and to top it all off, a horse wiener! I'm more confused by this than anything else. Thank you. He was working for Bad Bad. Which one of them was working for Bad Bad? Using a dog pill, Bad Bad changed townspeople into dogs. Please destroy Bad Bad and return the townspeople to normal. The Bad Bad house is in the south part of town. Tina became Pennon. Hi, Pennon. That star is... I have that one too. I recall my father telling me when I was young about 4 friends. We would all become aquatallions and fight together. Let's unite, Runner. We'll rescue kids and destroy Tom Cruise. Well, she's level 1. She's level 1. I mean, in my experience, and I mean this with total sincerity, there are 2 types of runs that people tend to enjoy. Stuff I know very well and love to gush about, and stuff that's terrible that we love to bash. Anything in between tends to be boring. And that's the kind of stuff that I try to avoid and fail at, obviously. But it's just grayscale. But, yeah, this game, I hope people will enjoy this particular run of this terrible, terrible game. Because this is a terrible game. What? What? I mean, I was using DuckStation earlier this year, and it works really well. I know this because I kept bouncing back and forth. I kept showing off the difference graphically between Suikoden 1 and Breath of Fire 3. You remember that? That was DuckStation I was using to do that. Very legally. So legally. Like, I was covered in legality. Just covered in it. Eliminated bone! I'm just picturing what that would feel like. Whew. And then, like, just bones gone. Not the rest of you, just your bones. It'd be worse than bone-itis. Eliminated Badman. There's so many jokes I could make there. I'm not going to, but, ooh, a lot of directions you could take that. Alright, so let's see if we can do this. We're gonna kill it before it fuses with a pumpkin. You can quote me on that one. Keep in mind, there are no vendors to sell us gear. The previous town is destroyed, and the previous town is being manned by dogs. So we do not have access to a vendor right now to buy items or gear. Please think about that for a second. Now, in some games, they could use that to good effect. Maybe change up the types of enemies you're fighting, which are enemies which regularly drop items. Maybe make it so the enemies don't do that much damage, so they're scaled a little bit easier. Maybe make it so there's a bunch of treasure you can get to be able to offset it. Something like that. But no. Instead, we're just playing normally without access to vendors. And every item I've gotten has been from this dungeon. I believe you can... Here, let's find out. Hang on. We're gonna do a... Okay, Okay, we're gonna do a this doesn't exist timeline really quick here. Just to see what happens. Wow! No, this is literally just a waste of everything. Wow. I am gobsmacked by this game. This is absence of design right here. It doesn't... It's obviously doesn't lead anywhere. You can tell right here, visually, that it leads to nothing. You can't fall off it to get to some secret area. There's just... Oh my god, okay. Is this floor? Okay, that did not look like floor. Oh god, that hurts my eyes! Is that just me? By the way, this is still the same dungeon of Dungeon 2. We're still in Dungeon 2 of this game. Oh god, I can picture that Bragman. In fact, actually, hang on a second. Don't we have CRT mode in this? We might not. I might have disabled that. Because why would I ever turn on CRT mode? But hang on! Let's see if we can turn on CRT mode. Let's do it. Oh. Hang on. Is this it? Yeah! In all its glory. Very good, Blade Terval. So, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the stream when I explained this, speed in this game only affects the turn order of the first turn of combat and nothing else. So increase, by definition, by the time you have cast fast or slow, you are past the first turn, and it literally does nothing. Oh, you made it. Thank you. The people of the town can return to normal now. With the one pill you got. Scatt the dog pill. What? Huh? Now the people have returned. Thank you, guys. I think that was supposed to mean scattered, but that almost makes less sense. Hang on. Let me scatter the bottle. I'm grateful if you're helping me out, but could you make me younger? Oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't even process that. That's even worse than I thought it was. So you remember how we didn't have access to vendors? We also didn't have access to this save. The nearest legitimate save, as if we were playing on an SNES, to that dungeon we just did, was to go all the way back to the hub. The old hill. Think about that for a second. Wow! We're hitting fractals here of bad. That's how wonderful this is. Wow. So I actually complained about this earlier, but it says in the manual, the select X, Y, L, and R buttons are not used for anything. Now, that may sound like a strange spread of buttons, but please picture a controller in your head for a second and remove the L and R and the X and Y. What are you left with? You're left with an NES controller. Okay, so it's listing some of the equipment, right? So we've got chainmail armor, gloves, fangs, you know, it's claws, a gas mask, which helps against poison attacks, A Vulcan, which is a rare modern weapon that can fire in rapid succession. Yes, it's a minigun. A riot gun, it's a shotgun. Short sword. A yo-yo. A hammer. That barrier can only be gone through by the other party. My other party, which is level 4. And on that bombshell...
One lunch break later.
But yes, her name is Leech. Only you arrive here. No one can help you. Meet your maker, kids. Are you the ones who came to help the kids? I'm Bingo, one of the Tom Cruise family. Meet your doom, kid. What? I'm just confused by that, honestly. I don't even know what to make of that. That's probably not a good thing. I'm losing the ability to snark about this game, because it's so weird that I just want you to notice how much gold I have, 637. This is a government office in Decatus. You are strangers here, aren't you? Why don't you get in? I don't care, though. Between us, if you give me 1,000 gold, I'll bribe the guard for you. Then you're able to enter from the front gate. Okay, but this is a secret. So that's how much gold we have now. Now, the problem, if you're paying any kind of attention, is you'll notice this is the only party we have that gold on. So that's technically worthless to us for right now. It's true, we could buy Twitter! And then no one will ever make fun of me again. Give me some money, I'm hungry. It is said that there is no place like home, and I agree, we are still happy. Well, a kid like you wouldn't understand. Kids don't understand happiness. They don't know what it's like. Facing every day with smiles on our faces. Joy in our hearts. They'll never know. The simple joys of the coffee shop. What a terrible town this is. You need money to do something or go somewhere. I like the country also. Really? Oh, you country folks. That's not dialogue. Meow. How did the cat afford its own room? It's nice for a woman to travel, isn't it? Sure. I like to travel with my dog, Charlie, even though I'm getting old. Do you think this is strange? Yes. Yes, I do. You can't have love without money. Okay, I know we already used the one picture as the thumbnail. Maybe we should use this one as the thumbnail instead. I feel like this might be a more accurate representation of this game. Yes, we'll do a lore run for Secret of the Stars. Alright, let me tell you all of the in-depth, extensive lore behind the villain, Tom Cruise. Huh? Oh, it's you. I can't do my experiments in this plain house after all, so please build me a big lab. How are we getting the resources for any of this? How are we paying anybody? How are we feeding them? Where's our water source? Where were they sleeping while we were building the houses? How do we... Okay. I'm okay. Oh, there it is. Oh my god, look at how terrible. Oh my god, that looks so terrible. Okay, hold up. Look at that. Look at that tent for a second, okay? Just soak it in for a moment. Give me a second. This is important. This has to happen. You now need to understand how bad that is. Give me a second. If you recognize the music, then you already understand what I'm about to show you. I want you to look at these graphics that are going by on the screen right now. Just look at it for a second. By the way, this came out in 1988. Predates this game by 5 years. On the NES. Look at it! Look at it! Don't you understand? This! And this game sucks! Have you ever played Paperboy? This game is garbage! And it's still better than that! You just dropped this. This is the place to vote. Polls are closed soon. Are you voting? Here you are. Here you are? Question mark. You are the last voter. Who is elected? Wait a minute. Make an announcement. A new mayor has been elected. Darn! Ha ha ha! It's as I expected. I must laugh. Ha ha ha! Now, imagine if we played this game last week. Hee hee hee, I finally became mayor of Decatus. I'll make a bundle. Ha 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 ha! What do you want? I see, you thought you could take advantage of me. Ha! I do not fear you. Okay, you can have this. This is more than enough for kids. Okay, so I want you to understand this. Because what just happened is we just participated in a rigged election to sway a vote that was one vote away from being decided. Like, it was exactly even. So we were the deciding vote to get a corrupt person in charge of the town, and we were paid off for that with a ticket to the circus, which is how we could progress the game. That's a good point. Scientologists don't have churches. They have warehouses. Filled to the brim with theta readers. I mean, Scientology is dumb and stupid, Mr. Eddie. You can quote me on that. Is any Scientologists in chat who are offended by that? Tough! By the way, the recommended level for the next area, excuse me, the next boss fight, is 18. We are currently level 12. That's a good point, Savicon. Perfect, Mr. Red. Go jump in a lava bath. Now, since Evo is horrifically arguing with me, you know what I must do. I must force her to look at the most horrible thing known to mankind. If I could find the button for it. There it is. Behold! There is nothing more hideous! We have already cheated. We have already thrown up the cheat flag. By the way, I think that's a record. I think we lasted longer in Lufia 1, which is arguably a grindier game than this. But the problem is, I knew what was coming. I knew that the moment we hit the second grind point, that it was just going to be every boss. Every single boss was going to be a grind point. And I just said, yeah, okay. But I've noticed this for years. People will be like, oh yeah, such and such. Hey, look, it's the Vulcan Gun. Oh my god, we can buy a Vulcan Gun. I remind you, in the manual, it's literally just a freaking minigun. It's just a picture of a minigun. It's barely better than my sword. Oh no, Ruben! No! Spoilers, Ruben falls off the bridge and is very dead. So, you see what I mean by the circles? Wrong spell, though. What I actually need is flare. Super spoilers! Ruben actually isn't dead at all! Da-na-na-na! Spoilers to the extreme. Alright, back to a much better game. Yes, Elon Musk is an underling of Tom Cruise. It all makes sense. The immortal Tom Cruise, who is a homunculus, of course. I haven't jotted down any new negatives lately, although that's because I don't think I need to. Have you seen the document? Hang on. I know a lot of people, especially those YouTube viewers, you don't get to see the document all that much. I want you to see something, okay? You don't have to read it. It's cool. I just want you to understand that currently I have this gigantic paragraph of negatives ready to fire. Once we've decided how many negatives it's worth, each of these items. I want you to know that this is something. If I could get... Whoa. Hang on. Reset. There we go. I want you to know that there's this paragraph from hell, which I'm currently debating for negatives for this game. You kids are finally here. I've been waiting. Now, Gyarados will seal your fateful doom. Alright, let's see his extremely powerful... Okay. Okay, so anyways. Okay, so we killed him. Oh, so much worse, Young Dragon. So much worse. Oh my god, Young Dragon, you have no idea. I'm doing my best to keep my spirits high and stay jokey. And it's costing me actual effort to do that. And that should probably explain how bad this piece of this is probably getting the garbage tag. There's nothing redeeming about this. The one and only thing which looked redeeming was the two-party system, which you notice I have stopped using and have no intention to use again unless the game forces me to. Can you stay a lion? Because honestly, I would rather you be a lion. I'm sorry, hang on. Let me make that joke properly. Turn down the volume a little bit. I'd rather you be a lion. Since this town is growing, why don't we think of a name? Yeah. Isn't it Walker? Walker! Our town walker. Everyone, you are now immortalized in this game. Oh, oh, hang on, hang on. Very excited stuff happening. You know, this is the mega grind spot, and this is not what I would call impressive. Now we're just dancing. You know, I also hate their casting animation. They do this. I literally can't get my arm far enough back to what they're doing. And then this. Yes, this is the mega grind spot. This is the Peninsula of Power. Is this terrible, terrible, terrible grind spot. This is pathetic. You'll notice the humor is leaving my tone because this isn't funny. So, we did it. We leveled. And leveled. And leveled. Hang on, hang on. I feel like we need to hear this. Give me one moment. You want me to spam it? Oh, hang on. The button's wrong. Why is the button wrong? What did I change it to? No, it should be this. There we go. This is the song of our people. Hang on. We can up the tempo. Oh, let's kill it. Now remember, gas dragons are the highest level trash we've encountered so far. So we just one-shot one. With a yo-yo and an axe. Also, the strongest mobs we have access to give 140 experience per, and we're already at the point of needing thousands to level if we were normally at level 20, which is what we'd be right about now. I just want you to really understand the level progression curve that we are at right now. We are still wearing a loincloth. What else would we be wearing? Because he doesn't have a lot of HP, and he's designed for you to have the gloves equipped. And we shot him with a Vulcan. The end. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Knockout. Piece of cake. Right on. My name is Arthur of Kustera. Who are you? You are ordering me to remove the rock? Heck, don't boss me around. Why are you this? Okay, that's some asset reuse. Anyways, he's dead. You win. I'll do whatever you ask. Please forgive me. I'll do whatever you ask. Please. Oh god, do I need to, like, get these people? You know, I don't even care. I don't even care. Everyone says I was born a chicken. Is that why the Colonel's after me? Ladies and gentlemen, this game's localization just referenced KFC. I don't know what to make of that. Hello, Crazy Norse. Welcome to the forest. I almost covers the whole screen. Alright. Oh, and welcome to the desert. Okay, that does cover the whole screen. Check it out. Gaze at it. Oh god, so we might actually be lost. Alright, so here's the deal. what you're actually looking at isn't a looping area. It's actually just a really big area that's copy-pasted, so it looks like it's looping. But it's actually not. And one of the towns is the correct one. And there's no map, as we were just complaining about, because, you know, someone do me a favor. When did Final Fantasy 1 come out in Japan on the NES? The original FF1. I think what you're actually supposed to do is randomly walk around and enter town. In 1987. 6-year-old tech is just way too advanced for this game. You know, I just noticed something. Look at the hero's hair, the blonde guy. Now, I'm looking east. Look at my hair. Now look at my hair. Look at my hair. Look at my hair. What? What's that airplane? It's gonna attack us. You have access to bombers. Why are we winning? Why is any of this happening? This is Braska. Really? How did you live? Gloop, gloop, gloop. Just think about how viscous this would be if it was blood. Although that would raise the rating of this. We know NOA can't tolerate blood. Well, well. They are with the bratty kids. That is better yet. I can make them all meet their due. It's Dram! Leave everything and run. Or we could fight him, since he's the next boss anyways. He's literally the next boss. Why aren't we helping him? Your turn's next, old man. Did you just call me an old man? Okay. So you ever see those old D&D handbook covers or module covers that look terrible and look like they're trying so hard? Anyways. Not yet. If you want to put that sub towards something, MPPY, then we can conclude the subscription. But until you do, it's not over yet. The ultimate villain will win without MPPY's allocation. I was born to rule the darkness. Actually, let's get a proper Tom Cruise voice here.
I was born to rule the darkness. Have no mercy. Eliminate these aquatallions. Crush everyone.
Yes, sir. Friends of aquatallions are hiding at the Walker, I hear. Let's destroy this town first. He's just got that bomber fleet on the ready. Why is he losing? I'm just mesmerized by how terrible this game looks. You know what? Hang on. One of the things I bang on about a lot is doodad design. I want you to look at this screen right now and understand why I bang on about doodad design so much. Just look at it. I'm not actually being facetious. I want you to really understand. This is why I'm so into doodad design. This is why games like Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger specifically impressed me so much. Was because this, honestly, was kind of the norm for a while. You know, in a lot of NES games, there wasn't doodad design. Yeah, there's just a giant field of blank grass. And a smattering of trees. And this was so normal. And as a kid, it bothered me but I could never really put a finger on why it bothered me. Until I saw more modern game design, like FF6 and Chrono Trigger, and I was just like, oh! Mega Man X1 is another good example. And Link to the Past and Zelda. And so it's just like, this looks better. And it finally clicked with me, and I didn't have a term for it until StarCraft was the first time the term doodads was something I was made aware of. Because as I mentioned before, doodads actually isn't my term. That is an industry term. So I was just like, aha, I finally have a label to put to something that I've been noticing for, like, at that point, like 10 years. And God, it looks so bad. Yeah, no, Lufia 1 to Lufia 2 is a perfect example of doodad design. If I ever need to actually do that kind of thing, FF4 to 6 and Lufia 1 to 2 are the things I'm going to use as, like, this is what doodad design is. Plonk. And I should just make those images and have them ready anytime anybody asks. Because every now and again someone asks what doodads are. And I'm like, here, this. Because you know what they are. You know, everyone consciously or subconsciously notices the doodad design. How was FF5? You know, that's actually a good question. Hang on a second. Do I have FF5 here? Like the SNES version of FF5? I might not. Yeah, looks like I know. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. We don't need it. We don't need no stinking thing. Actually, you know, one thing I can show you, and we actually did show this off. Hang on, I'm sorry, one second. That should be right here. I forgot to take my Flonase this morning. No wonder my nose is so blarg. I'm just going to load up the first stage, because honestly, I think the first stage will get across my point very effectively. Now, Mega Man X1 doesn't have the best graphics in the world. But look at the immediate difference from the first screen between this and what we were just seeing in Secret of the Stars. Look at that. Look at that. We've got broken down cars. We've got the lights fading in and out as the electricity is going out in the area. We've got the multiple layers of the highway in the background. We've got the fact that we're clearly on a highway itself, which is currently being ravaged by the Mavericks, or the regulars, if you prefer. Look at that. Look at it. It's not the best ever, but just the first stage stomps Secret of the Stars. This is now 2 games that aren't Secret of the Stars that I have played instead of playing Secret of the Stars. But yeah, attention to detail. Just look at this screen right here. I actually was specifically trying to get this point. You see 4 different types of skyscrapers in the background. The general cityscape, you've got the factory plumes going in the background. You've got the highway. You've got the second layer of the highway. I mean, it does. It looks like it's a different console. Never mind the difference in shading. I know we haven't loaded Mystic Quest yet. Although... '92. 1992. Wow. Oh, we did loot Mystic Quest. You're right. Because I was hoping to get to a certain spot, and I wasn't because it's not there. That sucks. Nope, you're right, though. You're right. God, this is awful tile design. I love you, Mystic Quest, but you are not a good visual game. I should probably go back and give you another negative, to be completely honest. You deserve it. I'm weirded out by that too, Bladesville. In fact, let's check all our saves really quick. Yeah, we apparently don't have one. Wow. Hold up. The last game I considered ahead of its time, other than Half-Life 2? Let me think about that for a minute. You know, as I look at this... Hang on. Sorry. You know, this is a tradition of mine. Every time I go through here, I pop in here just to listen to this song for a bit. As a treat. Even detractors of Mystic Quest agree the music bops. Well, if they don't, I'll just kill them, Crazy Horse. And then nobody will disagree with me. That's how that works. Anyways. Sorry. Point being... What the hell was I talking about? Point being... Visual design. So, hang on a second. So this looks kind of boring. And I'm not going to lie about this. And yet... I have to still say this game looks better than Secret of the Stars. Now, hang on. It's not fair to do a direct contemporary showcasing, but give me 1 second. Let me get to a town. There's still what I'm going to refer to as scraps. I'm going the wrong way. Scraps of visual design here that do not exist in Secret of the Stars. Tiny little shadings. Usage of shadows. Actual color usage? It also doesn't use the tile repeating problem to the point where it literally doesn't hurt the eyes. Yeah, exactly. It's literally better visual design. Mystic Quest, which looks like this, looks better than Secret of the Stars. Look at that. Like, maybe I'm even being too harsh about this. Some actual thought was put into this. And keep in mind, this still doesn't have much in the way of doodad design. And yet, they definitely actually thought about what goes where. Paths that are being created by the flowers, the actual walkway and the waterways, which of course is the water town. Trees along the water's edge. Inn is the first thing you see when you enter the town. People roaming around, etc. And of course, again, while it is still the same tile, look at that grass for a second. This is important. Let's really zoom in the camera for a second. Look at that grass, okay? Really stare at it for a few seconds. Put it into your mind. I'm going to give you a few more seconds to just stare at that grass tile, okay? Keep staring, keep staring, keep staring, keep staring. Now. Look at that grass tile. And tell me the difference. Yeah, the pattern literally looks wrong, ignoring how repeated it is. Because the other pattern was repeated too. But the other pattern looked like someone drew grass. This looks like... Well, you know what this looks like? It looks like nothing. No, seriously, it looks like, yeah, it looks like a copy-pasted texture. It doesn't look like grass. This is why doodad design, why visual storytelling, why brickwork are so important to game design. Because all I'm staring at is the background of a video game. Whereas over here, and again, this isn't exactly the best example. Whatever. Hang on. Whereas over here, shoot, I haven't gone this way yet. I should have saved while I was there. To be continued. This is like in the movies, you know, where someone says something, and then there's a jump cut, and then they say something else that's part of the same conversation, but logically it's been like 10 minutes since the previous thing. So in lore, they just say something and then they pause for like 10 minutes before continuing their conversation. Movies do that a lot, by the way. I get why. It's an attempt to try and create a degree of flow to the scenes, to try and make them move faster. Oh no, absolutely, Crazy Nurse. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, they just have a blackout, they wake up, it's 10 minutes later. Oh yeah, so to continue my dialogue. The previous screen... Here, you know what? Let's just do this properly here. We'll save. Go back over here. That looks like a backdrop of a video game. That looks like grass. That looks like a town. And I know that sounds like such a strange distinction, but it is so goddamned important. Immersion, people talk a lot about immersion, but I really feel a lot of people, especially bad game reviewers, have no idea what immersion actually means. And yeah, I know that's tiled grass, I understand that, but it looks like, yeah, sure. It looks like grass. You're right, even that looks better. And that's much more tiled than what we saw, but it still looks better. Placement is better, the color usage is better, the specific tile design is better. Sorry, this is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, Dark Day, a game that came out a year before the game we're reviewing. And this is Mystic Quest, and the reason I keep using Mystic Quest to make my point is Mystic Quest looks like crap compared to something like, I don't know, random example. This game. This is unfair. If I bring up Final Fantasy VI, it's going to destroy Secret of the Stars in terms of visual design. Look at this town. Look at this. There are shadows in the little alcoves of where the lumber is casting a 1-pixel shadow on the other thing. The reason I keep using FMQ as the example is because it looked cheap and felt cheap for the time, because it was considered to be a basic game, and it still destroys Secret of the Stars. And yet, this is what this machine is capable of. As a reminder, this game came out before Secret of the Stars came out in the States. And I gotta add that. There's one branch down there. Do you see that? There's just a knocked over tree branch. Yes, Dark Day, that is correct. Yeah, but yes, FF6 is unfair, which is why I wasn't using it as a comparison. But hang on. Let's lead into this. Why the hell not? Let's make our point. Shoot, what was that? That doesn't matter. 1991. Now, this is underground, so let's go someplace that's grassy, shall we? That's actually chocolatey. That's not grassy. Hang on, this might actually be a bit of a trip. Give me a second. This game predates Secret of the Stars by 2 years. It is also unfair. You know why? Because this was made by Nintendo. You were talking earlier about games that are ahead of their time. Nintendo games are ahead of their time. Almost universally. That has been true since Super Mario Bros. 1. Please look at this screen. Now this is very basic. There's just not a lot going on here. Except at the same time there kind of is, because of the aforementioned careful attention to detail in what is placed where. This looks more like you're roaming through a forest than Secret of the Stars does. Look at this. And yet, they were literally learning what the SNES could do with this game. So again, 2 years preceding. Let's go back to what really matters. Grass. That says it all, doesn't it? That says it all, doesn't it? Let's zoom in the camera on the grass for a second. What do we got here? What do we got? 3 things. So first of all, actually 4 things, excuse me. First of all, it's all one green, right? The majority of these tiles are just straight green, no texture, no nothing. But that would be boring if they did that. So what they did was they add these little tufts right here. Manually placed. Every one of these is manually placed. There's actually 2 types of tufts. There's that kind of tuft, and then there's that kind of tuft. Then there's the flowers, which are animated just slightly. I believe that's 3. It's 3 frames of animation, but it gives you something to look at. It makes it look more real. I've talked about this so many times. Something that is in motion looks more real to the eye than something that is a static picture. Static pictures look unnatural to the human eye. So those little flowers bouncing add something to this. So we've got tufts, we've got animated flowers, we've got this little green outline. Completely unnecessary, but it adds an extra layer of depth because that is now the edge of the grass, which leads into things like the dirt. Then we've got the dirt, which has little pebbles in it. How many of you have never noticed that pebble before? Be honest. No judgment. You're not supposed to notice good visual design. You're not supposed to notice good sound design. But look at that. It's just a pebble. 1991. Oh, also, you can interact with the ground. You can pick up the bushes. What do I need to add to this? Now, hang on. I was asked to look at another game that came out the same year. I keep talking about games that came out before this, but Lord, those games are done by the giants of the industry. That's not fair. You're comparing a little indie developer like Tecmo with, you know, Nintendo and Death Square. It's like, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. $1993. Do I have one by chance? Nope, I don't. A little bit Dark Day, yes. Depends on how you define it. Now, I will freely admit there are some visuals in Secret of Mana that don't work for me. There are. It's got its issues. Secret of Mana is not a perfect game. The screen you're looking at right now is a good example of visual noise, for example. But what I really want to do is we're going to skip ahead to some greenery, because that's what we keep comparing, right? Grass. Do me a favor and soak in this screen. Take a moment. Take it in. Alright. Pop quiz. How many of you noticed the little bits of moss on the rock, but only by where the water's pouring down? How many of you noticed that the water deliberately flows at a different tempo to the rest of the water relative to where it is, to make it look like the whole water is like flowing instead of just one static image that's moving to the right? How many of you noticed that there's an image layer on all of the objects in the water to make it look like the water is kind of bubbling around the object, like around the lily pads or the rocks? Look at it! This game came out the same year as Secret of the Stars. Or in the States, 2 years before. Yeah, there's also patches where the water isn't flowing, it's just shifting. That's true. That adds to the flowing effect that we've got going on. And this is the first gameplay screen. This is the first time when you can interact with the game, when you can run around and do something. Right here. I can keep going. Like, you want to see the grass? This is what grass looks like in Secret of Mana. You want to get stomping? I'll stomp you. Look at this. Look at this. Little flowers, different flowers, different flowers. Blowing grass, repeating that trick earlier. Blowing in the wind, yep. This type of texture, this type of texture. And it's not just smattered wherever. Thought was put into it. You could tell that this looks like a place, which goes back to that immersion thing I was just talking about. God almighty. Not without a team, Zactaf. Shepherd by themselves is nobody. That's kind of the point. Okay, there's actually another type of grass, which we got to go this way a bit to see. Which is this type of grass. Interactable grass. It's like the grass back in Zelda, where you can cut it. Obviously, we don't have the sword right now, but... That's true. There is no shepherd without Vicarian. Now, hang on. I was asked to make a specific comparison. I swear at some point we'll go back to playing Secret of the Stars. But I was asked to make a specific comparison. Let's see. Where's our saves? Do we have any saves? We do not have any saves. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Our name is... Ah! Oh, skip. Oh, God, skip! Skip, no! Okay, we're just gonna do this then. Oh, this is playable. I forgot about that. Oh, shit, this is gonna take a minute. Oh, it shows, Cycloud. That's a great idea, Cycloud. Let's make a JRPG because it's a happening in... I mean, you're kind of making my point for me, Cycloud, if that makes any sense. I said earlier that it's aping crap, right? Because what Secret of the Stars was doing was saying, hey, JRPGs are popular. Let's make one of those. And they didn't put the time or the effort or the money or the anything into actually doing that. They just said, yeah, that'd be neat. Now, I mean absolutely no offense by this. But this is like if I turned to Savacom and said, hey, Savacom, you know, first-person shooters are really popular right now. Could you go make one for me, please? Here's $50. Okay, that is a slight exaggeration. Let's say I gave Savacom $100 grand and said, here, go make a team, go make a game happen. Good luck. E.T. was done by one person, too, which is even worse. Oh, yeah, you also gotta make the time limitation, because of course you do. Yeah, see, that's the weird thing. It irritates me how much industries tend to focus on, and journalists tend to focus on graphics. When I am very big on graphical design, but not really on graphics. You know what I mean? I mean, you do know what I mean, because you have a brain, and you're thinking about it. It's just the two things happen to use the same word. Sprite work, doodads, visual storytelling, proper brickwork design, all the stuff I've been talking about for the last 20 minutes, rather than playing the game I was paid to actually review, is all aspect of graphical design, which I am very big on. Okay. So, I don't mean to be mean, but it's probably worth noting that even though that grass does not look good, it still looks better. I think, once again, color distinction and color design is part of... Oh my god, she's cooking! You see Lufia cooking in the corner there? Holy crap! Okay, so... Save. You have no idea, Savacom. So... Look at it. Now, it's not much. But we do have these little... can't even interact with them. We do have these little bushes. We do have edges in the grass, which lead into the sand, which is then underneath the bricks. The brickwork... excuse me. The pattern on the bricks itself actually kind of sucks. That tile kind of sucks, and that tile kind of sucks. Also, the tile inside kind of... Look, a lot of these suck, okay, is what I'm trying to say. But the point I'm trying to make, and this is the final point I swear I'm going to make, is that this game, visually, does not look good. I'm sorry, it doesn't. There is a lot of legitimately ugly design here, and it's still better than Secret of the Stars. This is still better designed. More thought is put into it. More effort is put into it. And it's still got crap, and it still looks better. So I think I've just spent several minutes earning additional negatives to graphics. This is Lufia 1, which came out before Secret of the Stars. Any objections? I agree with that. Shining Force and the aforementioned Phantasy Star also had better grass design. Yeah, no, this is triple negatives. This is triple negatives. I have fairly definitively proven, I think, that Secret of the Stars has some of the worst brickwork I have ever seen. In fact, hang on. Hang on. One more. One more. So when I think of the worst visual design in a game, this is the first game my mind goes to. Immediately. Okay, so. Town. That's what we keep comparing across all these games, is the town, right? I think this game would still get 3 negatives for brickwork, but I still think it's better than Secret of the Stars. Not the bricks itself, because, oh my god, those tiles are terrible. But the layout and presentation of what is where, I do think is better designed than in Secret of the Stars. Most of the towns do not have any logic to them, and worse, are actually irritating to navigate on a gameplay axis. This game is from this exact version of the game is from 1988. I know, right, Cycloud? So, having now 100%, no really proven it, the only thing left to do is to open up Battletoads. The only thing Battletoads should be remembered for. I'm joking. Since someone brought it up, let's go to 110% really quick. Town. This still looks terrible. I'm not trying to say it doesn't. But I can tell you right now, this already looks better than Dragon Quest. By a decent amount, actually. First of all, the tiles actually look like tiles on the road here. And again, clearly laid out town structure to it. In fact, we've even got little details, barely, like this little fence here. And kind of shadows on the trees. So, this is just the barest of improvements, But I would still say that this game looks better than Secret of the Stars. Oh my god, I'm not joking. I'm not YouTubing it. This looks better than Secret of the Stars to me. It is barely. I'll admit it's barely. Just barely. Oh. That's gobsmacking. Okay. Okay. You'll notice, as I'm looking at this, you'll notice some of these colors are near or are identical to some of the colors that Secret of the Stars uses for the same things, which makes me wonder. I award you 0 points, Secret of the Stars. I'm not going to give it 4 negatives. I'm going to give it 6. I agree with Mr. Red. The sprite work, brickwork, visual layout, visual aesthetic of this game is so bad that it is bad on both axes. If you wish to gain new power, fight me. Are you ready to do so? Now, come on! Come on! Okay. I get that just fighting in space is a thing, except we're not in space. You notice we're like on a moon? What's with the chunks of asteroid that are like dripping something in the distance? And what's with the laser? What? What? An old tradition has carried on. I now grant you the title of Banilet. Banalets can combine and create what is known as Unity magic. Oh my god, we're over a day in with cheating, and we have just now accessed one of the core mechanics of the game. What is this, Ni no Kuni? Where has the circus gone to? Well, that's a good question. After they kidnapped a kid and then turned him into a lion, they brought the circus here so they could taunt us with him before leaving. And then they decided to turn him into gold while he was a lion. Maybe it's this one. Look, I don't know what the hell is going on in this place. The villain's plans make the opposite of sense. I'm pretty sure Team Rocket comes up with better plans than them. Speaking of which, oh great, isn't it Taco's Min? Terrific, how did you get it? I see. I understand. It makes the rocket work. How do tacos make a rocket work? How was there a receiver pad for the rocket in the upper world? A rocket explodes. What? You know, when we first started the game, I commented on how terrible the bricks were. It was one of the first things I noticed. The game heard me. And retroactively, 30 years ago, however long ago this was. Yeah, just about 30 years ago. They were like, hang on. We can do better. So this, I think we have officially reached eye cancer levels of interior design. Django, everything I said bad about Fallout 1 and 2's visuals, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah, I was just saying, picture this with random encounters. Look at this place. Look at this place. There's something, one of the biggest things I rail against when it comes to dungeon design is what I call samey visuals. You know exactly what it is by the way I describe it. Daggerfall, right? So this Look at this place! Now imagine getting an encounter every, on average, 5 feet, 5 steps. Alright, I'm sorry, Savicom, but we need to turn on the in-game music for the tremendous, fantastic power of Booth! Finally you come. But this place will only be your grave. What? Probably going to be an upgrade over the cloth suit, yep. And this is our party now. For the rest of the game. So first of all, it does that problem a lot of NES games did because they had to, where the background is just black. It's just empty black screen. In other words, there's actually nothing there. So nothing's being rendered. I'll demonstrate this. So we go over here. We can see outside the playable area. See, it's just black screen. So that's problem number one. Then we've got the obvious problem with the central tile, which is quite literally two very small, 3 pixel, in fact, bricks. Which is just repeated in an endless cascade of gray. Then we've got the tilting thing again, with the top of the roof there. And then we've got the fact that on the screen right now there are a grand total of 4 colors being represented, not counting the player characters. 4, I counted. We've got white, light gray, slightly darker gray, and then dark gray. Also, the stairs are gray on this nonsense. The chests are gray, too. I'm not going to loot that. I'm just going to protest. You want me to turn on CRT mode? You got it. I live to serve. Behold! Behold its glory! In fact, you know what, hang on, let's go all the way back. Let's go back. Let's really soak this sucker in. Let's do this. I want you to know! There. Look at it. I have questions. Oh my god, she's wielding a crop. She's wielding a crop. A riding crop. Remember what I mentioned earlier about, you remember those old D&D, like, portraits, which all were kind of... Yeah, I think they just... Oh my god, look at our characters. Our male characters, by the way. Yeah, no, that's... We already said that earlier, but that's totally what it is. It was true with the last boss, too. All of them are just... the bosses. Someone just took a bunch of portraits from the front of some D&D books and turned them into pixel art, and that's what this is. This is the gray era of gray, apparently. I'm Pericles. Tom Cruise is my son. He was born as a result of science! After learning the makeup of humans, I set out to create an artificial man. I kidnapped a girl from hidden, uncovered graves, worked on experiments. Finally, I succeeded. I created an artificial man. Tom Cruise! Hey, dude, there's this thing called repetition. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's called repetition. But Tom Cruise was born as a child of evil. He grew up in Rimstera and destroyed me. Then he used my time machine to escape. I'm sorry, are you just casually dropping a time machine into this? Tom Cruise came to our world. He leaped the time. He leaped the time. He has returned to the past and now seeks world domination. We now send 5 aquatallions, soldiers, to destroy Tom Cruise. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Cool. I mean, X4 and 5 and 6 also have some pretty legit soundtracks. Hi, Valerian. How was your flight? I know that was a bit ago, but I didn't hear from you since then, so... It's good to know you didn't go... and, like, explode so badly that you, like, rocketed out into space and then became one with the alien dolphins who came down and used their powers to change humanity in the past for the better. The way I like to think of it, Dark Day, is if... Have you ever heard of Wild Animals Sports Day? No, that's a bad example. That's a bad example. Lufia 2 is up to code. Everything from this year is up to code. That's a bad example. If there's a bunch of kids, like 10-year-olds, and they really try and put together, like, a theater play, it's not going to be good. But I'm probably, as long as they really put actual time and effort and thought into it, as long as they put that kind of work into it, I'm probably not going to call that a lamentation, and I'm certainly not going to call that garbage, because it isn't. There's something there. There's an effort. They may have failed, and it may turn out to be awful, you know, objectively or fairly, however you want to think of that. But it's not garbage. Unlike the game we're playing right now. What happened? What the heck happened? The laboratory has been explored. Yes. Yes, the laboratory has been explored. This game is definitely longer than Quest 64. I can tell you that from experience of having beaten Quest 64 2.5 times. Can there be worse visuals than literally make me sick levels? So hypothetically, no. But let me ask you something. Have you ever seen the actual worst graphics in video gaming? Without going into meme games. Meme games or incomplete games don't count. I mean just a finished product that people sold, that people still sell. Came out on the Switch. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to show you a video game. I want you to see Hoshi Wo Miru Hito. The greatest game ever made. Behold its incredible glory! This is what you see when you start up the game. So, I'm gonna... For anybody who knows this game, shush. But for anybody who doesn't know this game, do me a favor. Tell me what to do. It's an RPG, I'll give you that. This is an RPG. What should I do? North. This is our movement speed. You'll notice we have to go one tile at a time and then stop, and then one tile at a time and then stop. Still going north. Okay, so we're probably dead. See this? We have 5 health? That's actually not true. We have 50 health. However, we did just get killed. Oh, no! Actually, no, that's not what happened. That's even better. This is the game. There is not a worse game than this one, other than FF14 1.0. This is the second worst game I've ever played. Okay, this is really bad. Hang on. So we actually have 50 health right now. because the game is programmed to round every number in the entire game to the nearest 4. Not the nearest 2 or 5 or 10 or anything that will make sense. 4. We have psychic powers, of course, but we also have punching that we can do. By the way, you're probably wondering why we're getting hit so hard. It's because we're level 0. Okay, I think we actually died that time. Okay, so we died to the second encounter in the entire game. Now, if you're wondering, you thought, oh, you just started with the game. Why don't you hit the continue button? Because obviously it's got to save, right? So, the save is this. This is the save. Hang on, it's worse than whatever you're thinking. Hang on, we're not done yet. Hang on. Hang on. Hope you're good at memorizing numbers. By the way, each one of these I'm making a separate digit just to really kind of emphasize how similar these are to each other. There you go. There's your password system. Now we're actually soft locked here, so we're going to have to actually reset the game to get back to the front screen. So if you hit start, what happens is this. This is where you start the game. This is where the first town in the game is. Do you see a problem with this? Did you know that in most areas of this game, collision doesn't work? So you can just walk through walls. By the way, encounter tiles are based on specific tiles, so there's no encounters for walls. That's not like speedrunner tech. That's you just walk into the wall because there's no wall there. Again, this is our movement speed. If I'm really like there's a pattern to it. If you hit at a very specific rhythm, which I'm trying to do here, you can keep going quickly. If you mess up, then you gotta pause at the next tile before you can go to the next tile. And you can see me kind of failing at it periodically and then getting it periodically. Obviously, this is not translated into English. So, where do I begin with this game? I mentioned we're level 0. Which means we can only attack with one thing, punching with our bare fists. Now here's the really messed up part. Because of the way the game is programmed, that's the best weapon in the game. If you actually bother to go buy a weapon, like a laser gun, it will lower your damage. It's due to the nature of how the game calculates damage and armor. The point is that you are better off never equipping a weapon the entire game, because your fist will always do more damage. And at a certain point, you gain more psychic powers, and then that'll start doing more damage. When you get to the end of the game, you can fight the space dolphins. Sorry, spoilers. Or you can decide to join with them peacefully. Would anyone like to guess what happens if you decide to fight the space dolphins? Saying you die is close. It would be more accurate to say that the game ends with the bad ending immediately, without a fight, because they didn't program in the fight, so there is no fight there. It just triggers as if you lost the fight. While you're fighting enemies, they have a 100% chance to flee from battle if they get below a certain health threshold. So, if you are attacking enemies, then they flee, and you get nothing for that encounter. The only way to kill enemies in this game, and it actually takes more work and thought than you'd think, is to get them down to about here-ish, and then pray for a crit. Because if you crit, you kill them. And then you get the experience you need. I mentioned there's no saves. There's also no continuing, obviously. Status effects are permanent. There's no curing any status effect in the game. So the enemies who do status effects will just do them. It's pure random. There's no controlling it. There's no nothing. I could go so much further into this. Now you're probably thinking, how is this game this bad? How is this game this bad? So I actually forget the name of the company. I could pull that up really quick. Here we go. So there's a company called Hot B, who you've never heard of. And they were like, huh, Dragon Quest, the first one, is selling pretty well. We want to make a JRPG. So they hired a separate company called Another. And Another put together this game. Now, if you're paying attention, this should sound familiar because this is almost identical to Tecmo's Secret of the Stars. They wanted to jump in on a hot thing because they thought it would sell well, and they didn't put any time, resources, or money into it. And you're probably thinking, well, how do you know that? Maybe Another really put the work and effort into it. Another consisted of one person. The whole Another company, one guy. This game was made by one guy. Hoshi Wo Miru Hito. Here, I'll paste it into chat. It's actually quite legendary. It is rather well renowned. It's actually very popular because of how terrible this is. This is 1987. This game came out in 87. The plot of the game, which I can tell you from memory, is there's an evil supercomputer which is running the world, and 4 children are born with psychic energy and have to reach out and stop the evil computer from destroying the world. But it turns out, massive spoiler, that there is no evil supercomputer. It's all just space dolphins. Now, the space dolphins are either evil or good, depending entirely on a single dialogue choice you can pick. And either they want to coexist with humans or wipe out all humans. Yeah, dolphins from space. Now, is this game completable? Yes, if you count the bad ending. Because remember, there's no final boss fight. This game is probably the second worst game I've ever played. And no, I've never beaten it. And I never will. If you asked me to review this game, I'd probably veto it. Because the only way I could ever review this game is if A, I won the lottery, so B, I could spend the time to C, do all the research necessary, to D, actually play the game. Because there's some games I do research on to learn behind-the-scenes stuff. Some games I do research on it to be able to tell you more about it, little quirks in the programming, or little cool aspects of, you know, how the game is run, or what they do with the visual design, or all kinds of stuff like that. This game, I would need to do research to be able to play it. But I'll tell you right now, if we ever actually did that, that's probably the floor. That's probably the thing that would beat Mega Man X7. Is that garbage. Now, suppose we have to keep playing Secret of the Stars. I mean, do we have to? Okay, hang on. I like how uniquely boring the boss music is. You ever think about that? Alright, it's boss time. Da 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 da. Yep, we need the second party. These are the levels of my second party. It's the thing under the LV in the lower right, if you're not catching it immediately. I have to decide what negative that is. Because that, if you're paying attention, that's like 3 separate problems all kind of running into each other. Like, you notice that, right? That's not like one issue. That's, hey, you've been leveling that second party that's never been needed for anything the entire game, right? Oh, you haven't been? Oh, well, it sucks to be you! What? We can't use the airship as the second party. We can't use the airship as the second party. You know, Hoshi Wo, etc. is arguably a worse game than this. It is. But it's a worse game because it's an incomplete game. It's not bad design. It's absence of design. Someone, probably several someone, somewhere, sat down and thought, alright, we need to encourage the second party mechanic. I've got it. We're going to make it so that there's these special items that you need to progress the story. We're not going to tell the player what those items are, or that they exist. What's going to happen is they're going to reach a certain point of the game and not be able to progress and not know how or why and be stuck forever because nothing whatsoever indicates that you have to go loot these random chests and dungeons as the second party to get the... and then transfer those items to the first party because only the first party can use those items in order to actually progress the game. This is... Imagine doing this on the SNES, 1993, no game facts, no strategy guide, no internet, no Nintendo Power, because they don't cover this crap. How? How did you beat this game, jakefakesnakecake? How? I'm not even joking. You have to tell me. Are you a wizard? Can you see the future? What's next week's lottery winning numbers? Because I could really use that answer right about now. It was like being castrated in a car wreck. That is the best description of this game I have ever heard. May I quote you on that when I put that on the review page? It's like being castrated in a car wreck. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, my God. Okay. No, they're not mandatory. These are mandatory. The optional dungeons are, surprisingly, optional. Kill me, Evo! Kill me! Alright. So, where am I going? Yeah, like I said, this is not whether or not this is a negative. I have to legitimately decide. Like, no memeing, no joking, no trying to make this funnier than it is. I'm gonna have to sit down and in a very boring, stupid tone and voice, put on my business hat and decide how many negatives I'm gonna shotgun at this section of the game. For these dungeons, for these samey dungeons, for the fact that this is mandatory, for a party you probably haven't really been leveling, for a party that can't use the airship, which is, even if I knew this and was doing it at the time, it's still pure backtracking. For items that I don't know I need, and nothing tells me I need them, and nothing tells me where they are. This is bad. This is really, really bad. Yeah, I think we're in a race. I think this is a race, people. I think Mega Man X7 is staring at some honest-to-God competition. Mega Man X7 looks at this as like, man, at least I got... Yeah, why do I hear boss music? Exactly! Hang on, let's enjoy this bopping music for a second. You know, I think we found a tile set that's worse than the grass. Look at that nonsense. What? What? Seven towns blown up now. I think we have officially passed FF2. Why are we going back into the volcano from the beginning of the game? Guys, I just realized something. This is the final dungeon. Now, hang on. Hang on. Hang on. When we started this game a while ago, so we started the game, and I walked a few steps south, and the first thing I noticed was bad tile work, bad color palette. It's these. Look at the tiles I'm walking on. The grays and the light orange brown. Do you see that color? Look at that color very carefully for a second. Does that look familiar? Alright, real question. How many of you are picturing the sound effects to Mystic Quest's boss encounters right now in your head? Well, you see, Javan, we're here to... What is this last dungeon? This is the final dungeon of the game. Slowly going in a circle. In a blank... Look at this! Look at this! Look at the visual design on your screen right now. Look at it. I feel like shoving a dog into a sweat stop they made on the frickin' lawn. Look at this! Dirt. Blank emptiness. That's it! No, I don't think you're processing. That's the problem. Like, we're all just kind of skipping over it. Yeah, of course it looks terrible. No, really think about it for a second. Really process that this is the last dungeon of the game. Why do you have a chair? You know, I didn't even care. You finally made it here. Oh, wait, sorry. You finally made it here! Welcome, aquatallions! Your power cannot harm me! Hang on, let's try a combo attack here. I'll use Fire 3, while Tina uses Freeze 3. While Cody uses Storm 3. While Leona uses Bolt 3. Let's do it. Combo time! Ultra combo. Devastate, spelled wrong. That's it? That's the spell effect for a quad attack? Oh my god. Light Orb. I was defeated by the last aquatallions. Because of it. Hang on. Let me lock down the guessing game really quick. Just give me a moment. There we go. But I'm not afraid of it any longer. I get new power owing to Kustera. This time, a final battle! I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I suppose that's normal for games like these. At least we have a unique song. Time? Yeah, I think that's it. Wow, there's not even a proper defeat effect. He just goes away. FF4 did better than that with regular bosses. Never mind Zeromus. Okay, we did it. Aw. Darn. Aw, darn. That's the first thing. The final boss of pure evil who wants to rule the world of darkness says after the end. Aw, darn. Oh my god. You. I hate you too. Wow! What? I hate you too. Wow! I can't even make this up at this point. Like, sometimes I will say things that are not actually on screen when it comes to reading this out loud, for the sake of humor, or snarking. I've just been reading the dialogue straight, because I can't make this up. Is this it? Ah! And that's the story of the aquatallions. Well, I've told of a rare adventure. But that's okay. I wonder what kind of adventure awaits. Hey, Savacom, was it worth it? I'm sorry, that sounds like one of those, oh yeah, no, legitimate question. Since you pretty much funded this, was it worth it? I'm gonna give a negative for voice acting. Any complaints? I'm joking. But that's negative 27 net to story. There's only one thing we've ever covered that is worse than that in pure story. Tor Jedi Knight, just the Jedi Knight arc. Nothing else has had that bad of a story score. And I stand by that. This is the worst story I've covered. Top Gear. You can tell what I got on the brain. Tonight, we get Tom Cruise to play his own evil, villainous self in a video game. We get Savacom to play his father. And we get Crazy Norse to jump upside down and be put on fire. Yeah, no, this is what you get when Star Wars fails. You know, I've talked about that concept before, when something just kind of lucks into success. This is lucking into failure. You know, I was thinking to myself, what if one of the people who made this game, which this would never happen, of course, but what if one of them actually did see one of these streams? Or the final review or something? And you know, honestly, while I feel bad for you and all, the game you put out sucked. So... negative 72 to gameplay, and may God have mercy on your soul. That is an impressive 1.83 negatives per hour to story, and 4.89 negatives to gameplay per hour. With a story ratio of 6.45% and a gameplay ratio of 3.85. I've got the golden number. This is history in the making. At the bottom, Mega Man X7 with negative 50.46. Right above that, at Quest 64 with negative 45.23. Right above that, our third worst game ever reviewed, Star Trek Shattered Universe at negative 34.11. Ladies and gentlemen, Tecmo's Secret of the Stars gets negative 60.51. We have broken through the bottom of the barrel by 10. And if you don't understand the math, please understand that's insane. That is such a bonkers increase in score. And you know what? Sitting, thinking about it, processing, I stand by that. Where's my donation page? There it is. There it is. I've got so many walkthrough pages up right now. Oh my god. I've got, so in case you're wondering, I had the Game Facts walkthrough, and then the walkthrough that Time Lost shared, and then the map from that walkthrough, and then the map from the manual, which I could actually read the labels better on, and then a page which had the individual stage maps, so I could navigate some of the dungeons. That's 5 walkthroughs for this game. I had 5 walkthroughs for this game while cheating. If you ever would like to sit down, get into RPG design, I've done a lot of discussions over the years about it, but I strongly recommend, and I mean this, I strongly recommend you sit and figure out what this game did, and don't do that. And that's not a meme, and that's not a joke. This is a value. As I've said before, there's a value in reviewing bad games, bad movies, bad shows. And this is a good way to understand what not to do. Exactly, Jobin. Learn from other people's mistakes. These mistakes have already been made. Don't fall into the same pits. They're already filled with people. Notice the signs. Pay attention. Do your research. Do your homework. Look at this and say, not that. Big piece of advice I give to anybody creatively or productively.